Hey everybody, welcome to the Spain Gibraltar channel and welcome to my series that I call Grocery Shopping in Spain. I'm going into my local grocery store called Mercadona here in the south of Spain, where I take you inside and show you different products that we have for sale and how much they cost. Come on inside with me. I'm going to show you where I shop for my Tex-Mex, the tacos that I'm making for dinner. Let's go check out the aisle. Okay, so these are good cheap beers for $4.14. for an entire 9-pack, like those. And then over here is where when I'm making tacos, I get these nacho chips. These are $1. Here's our other taco stuff. And so I just get these to make burritos. These are $1.60 right now. And then for to make taco meat, I just get one of these. When I want my taco fix, this is what I have. The wheat ones are $1.75 for 10. I don't dare buy this salsa, it's not good. Sometimes this cheese one is good. Sometimes this one is good for nachos. And then of course, I need these, but a little can of jalapenos is $1.55. And don't forget, Mexican food is not from here, it's not normal here, so this is my tiny little selection of, I wouldn't call it Mexican food, I'd call it Tex-Mex. And I like these, like a little cocktail mix for $1.40. These less than 6 months ago were $1. So it's just crazy the prices that are here. And if you like dried algae, they've got that for $1.80 for the health people. More tortillas. So there's my taco Tex-Mex section here in Mercadona. Not very big, but it gets the job done. And when I'm doing taco night, I always do my own homemade rice, my own homemade Mexican rice, and then my own homemade beans. Let's see, I just made pinto bread. I think this time it's going to be black beans, which are $2.15 for a kilo. All right, guys, welcome back from Mercadona. Today, things just seem like every week, everything is 10 cents, 20 cents higher. I swear to God, since I go to the grocery store every day. So anyway, today I was shopping for some Tex-Mex type items. So let me jump in and show you those things that I bought. As you can see, you saw some of the different prices in the video. Now I'll pull each of those items out and show you what they look like. This beer, so it's a 9-pack and it comes in these these are like 12-ounce cans for us in the States. It's €4.14 for 9 of these, which I think is a pretty good deal. It's more on the darker side of beer, hoppy, like I like it. These nachos, so these are €1 now and they go good with my tacos. These are €1 now. They literally used to be 70 cents. A few months ago. I ran into my aunt as I was leaving the grocery store and I told her, I said, listen, I'm like, everything is up 10 cents, 20 cents. And she's like, yeah, everything is up 10 or 20 cents. Imagine if you had a big family. I said, I know, I can't believe how much prices have increased and not just slowly, dramatically. That's why in my last few videos, I've been like, wow, these prices are so high compared to what they used to be. So anyway, this is for my Tex-Mex. Yeah, it even says it on here, Tex-Mex, that I'm making some tacos. And what I do, because there's taco seasoning at a couple different stores here, but at Mercadona, they just have this, what's called burrito seasoning. And honestly, using this makes the same flavor profile as the taco seasoning that I'm used to back home in the United States when I make my Tex-Mex. Because I don't want to call it Mexican, because it's not like pure Mexican food, it's more like a Tex-Mex food, or more like an American style Tex-Mex. That's my favorite. Food is American style Tex-Mex, because I'm technically Tex-Mex. I'm born in Texas, half my family's Mexican, so I'm Tex-Mex. These are $1.10 each. So $2.20 for the two of them. And then of course, these big burritos, because I make, I'll either make these into taco styles or I'll make mini burritos out of these. These were $1.60 for for 6 of them. And the way that I make my tacos and make the meat and the beans is that it's something that I can have for a few days. And I didn't buy shredded cheese because that's out of my budget, or else I'm just too cheap to buy it. So I buy the block cheddar and then I cut this up or shred it up. And this has gone up €3.05 for this block, 300 grams. This used to be $2.20 last year. So in a year, it's gone up 85 cents. And last week it was $2.90. That's why I'm saying like this stuff just keeps going up. I did show these jalapenos. These jalapenos work well for Tex-Mex. I like cutting them up. These were at $1.55. Fun fact, I save these little glass jars and I either use them for different things that I make, or, you know, maybe let's say I have a little bit of sauce left over from something. These make great storage containers. And then if I don't use them for food items, I bring them outside to the garden area and I use them for different garden areas. I love reusing glass jars. Finally, the ingredient that I mostly put into my tacos, because tacos, I usually, in the United States, I usually use like ground beef or minced meat. And here I found that making like a carnitas style is better. So I just buy a big thing of pork loin, and this is 1.36 kilos for €5.79. So what I do with this is I put it in a pot to simmer it with all the spices. So I'll cut these into pieces. I'll let it simmer. I put in some little tiny bits of onions and some pepper inside of here. And then I just let it simmer all day long, hours and hours and hours, until it becomes so tender that it just kind of pulls apart with a fork. Then I take my tortilla and I pile on the meat, some cheese, some lettuce, tomatoes, sour cream, and that's how I make my Tex-Mex tacos here in Spain. Oh yes, and on final note, the other final thing that I do is I make my own homemade beans and my own homemade rice. And so the jasmine rice, which I find you have to spend a little bit more money on the rice. I think the quality is just better. The other rice that I bought, the cheaper stuff, never turns out when I cook it, but the jasmine rice does. And then these are black beans. I recently cooked pinto beans and red beans, so I wanted to go with some black. Now, beans are not the easiest thing to cook and they're very time consuming, but since I can do a lot of work at home, I can start these early and then let them kind of cook all day. So thank you so much for joining me on my grocery adventure here in Spain at Mercadona, where consistently in the past few weeks on my videos, I've been explaining how prices have just been going up and up. Previously in the south of Spain, living here, the cost of living, and I'm sure it's still the cost of living here, is a lot cheaper than it is in other places in the world. It used to be a lot cheaper, and I'm just slowly noticing that each week that I'm spending a little bit more each week, because the grocery haul that I did today, and of course I got some other things, my total was $55.37. And I did buy some chicken as well, which chicken, the meat always brings up the total. The thing is, $55.37 for all of this. 6 months ago, it probably would have been $45. And last year, it probably would have been $35. And I'm not joking about those prices, because I grocery shop every week. Grocery shopping is probably one of my favorite things because I like to bargain hunt. I like to pick out food and find out what I'm going to cook at home or what I will bake at home. So I know prices at the grocery store. So anyway, that's the grocery shopping here in Spain at my local grocery store called Mercadona. If I get a chance, maybe I'll show you how I make some of this kind of Tex-Mex food, because honestly, I make the food that I made back home in the States because my comfort food, it's what I know how to make and it's what I like. There's no Mexican restaurants here, so I can't get my Mexican fix unless I make it myself. Thanks so much for joining the Spain Gibraltar channel. Have a great day.